DRL, we race with greed. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive.
Hello and welcome, and we are back for another race here at the DRL Season 8, Round 7, if you can believe it. 6 rounds in the book, an exciting race tonight in Donington Park in store for us. Thank you everyone for being here. As always, let's take a quick moment to thank our Patreon Gold subscribers. Without you, we could not do what we do here, so thank you so much for all your love and support, and also all of you in chat tonight. I thank you so much for all your love and support, even just giving us some of your very valuable time. We are so grateful that you choose to spend a little bit of your evening here with us. Taking a look at the calendar, we finished Zandvoort, then Laguna Seca. We had our first mystery track at Silverstone. Then we had the Red Bull Ring, Oulton Park. We had our mystery track last night, and here we are, or last week, excuse me, and here we are in Donington Park. A very difficult, a very technical track that the drivers will be working through. This will be anyone's race out there tonight, and these times have been close during this week of practice for the drivers. It is a technical track, which means there are going to be mistakes that drivers make, and you are going to need to make overtakes by creating pressure. It'll be so exciting to see this race tonight and how it plays out. And as always with technical tracks, qualifying is so important. So I think we're really going to see the drivers give it everything that they got in qualifying to try to secure that Covenant pole position. And then, of course, next week we will finish this season in one of the favorite tracks of all drivers, fans, and commentators alike, Suzuka. With that, let's take a quick look at our standings. In the Platinum class, we have Neil Kerbel, who is still holding on to first place by only 6 points over Liam Curran, then followed by Cooper Atherton, a fan favorite here, followed by Kyle Hirsch, Nate Henderson as well. Then taking a look at the gold class, we have Daniel Hirsch, who is leading with 59 points, but Gav Cook is right behind him with 58. This is anyone's title still in the gold class. Spencer Braun is right behind them with 48. Professor Chronotis, Nicholas Mari, Morgan Dino, Sam Bozak, and Josh Rodriguez rounding out the gold class. In silver, Arturas Hermanis is still holding it by 6 points. Juan Lopez in second after a dramatic race in Indy last week for our mystery track. Tyler in third place. As you might remember, Tyler and Arturas made contact, and Tyler chose to be a good sport and give that position back, ultimately giving Juan the win in silver, which was big for him in the standings. Juan still mathematically can win this title, and there's even mathematically a chance for a 3-way tie in the silver class, which would be absolutely incredible. An exciting race, as always, I expect tonight in the silver class. And finally, for our bronze class, Senior Tarugo has a commanding lead over the bronze class, and I expect him to continue that domination. He has had 4 first-place victories in a row. He is hoping to take a 5th here, followed by Alan Leung, who's in second, who has also been on a dominant streak. We haven't talked about Leung too much this season, but he is also on his 4th. He also has 4 consecutive second-place finishes. Marion Sathsara is in 3rd place, tied with John Malott. Then we have Creamy Von Cream, Will Sanchez, and Low-Tech Bandit. It will be very exciting to watch these last 2 races and how they play out between Sathsara and Malott as both of them chase down that final position in the podium. As we take a look at the constructor standings, Morgan Motorsport, the team made up of Neil Kerbel and Tyler Morgan, still hold strong in first place with 373 points. And with the pace of Neil Kerbel and the tenacity of Tyler Morgan, you have to ask yourself, will anybody have a chance at taking them down? The Hirsch brothers of Hirsch Racing are the closest with 341 points, followed by Braun GP in 3rd place overall. With that said, let's dive over to our practice session here. As we have about 6.5 minutes left in practice, we are riding along right now with Cooper Atherton, the fan favorite of our Cooper bots. And before I go anymore, I need to announce in the booth with me, we have an exciting guest tonight. My old broadcasting partner from last season, Morgan Dino from Sandbag Syndicate. Morgan, how are you doing tonight? And welcome back to the commentary booth.
Yo, brother, what's up? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's I'm excited to be back in here with you and to sit back and watch the race tonight instead of being part of it.
Yeah, so what's your thoughts on not coming tonight? Not a fan of the track, or did you just miss me so much?
A little bit of both, Dan. Honestly, I hopped on for some laps earlier today. Found myself to be an absolute liability around here right now. So instead of ruining somebody else's race, I'm going to just wave the white flag and kick back and watch with you tonight.
All right, well, I am personally very excited to have you back here with me. Always enjoy having you on the stream with me, and I'm very much looking forward to the race tonight. As someone who spent a little bit time out there tonight, what's something that you think we should be watching for on the stream with these drivers?
I'd say qualifying is probably going to be super important here. I mean, again, the age-old thing, it's hard to overtake here, kind of with most tracks around ACC, it seems. But I think mostly here, like, there is really one opportunity into that second to last penultimate hairpin there that we're watching Cooper go through right now. That is kind of like the only spot you really see people dive to try to make an overtake. So I think qualifying is going to be really important, and it's going to kind of set where people, I think, end up probably finishing the race potentially, with, barring any like off-track excursions, mistakes, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think tonight here qualifying is probably more important than others.
Yeah, I could not agree more. As we are riding along with Cooper Atherton, let's see. Let me pull up here to view some of our times that these drivers are doing. A 125.8 for Liam so far. Neil Kerbel and Cooper Atherton, almost identical times right behind them. That's going to be real exciting to watch these three battle. It feels like every race, one of these three has much better pace than the other. This may be the first time that we're going to see them all, really neck and neck and battling it out. So that should be so exciting. We have Daniel Hirsch, who is in 4th place. Artur Sermanis coming out strong in 5th place. Gavin Cook right behind him, right? We talked about in the standings, Gav and Daniel are 1 point apart, so this race is crucial for both of them. Spencer Braun right behind him. Damian Zawatsky returns to the grid tonight. So excited to have him back into the grid. See how he can kind of shake things up in the silver class a little bit. This is a big return to the silver class. Nicholas Mari, Juan Lopez, Senior Tarugo again with his dominant run. Professor Kronotis, Tyler Morgan, Kyle Hirsch, Marion Satsara, John Malott, Creamy Von Cream, Will Sanchez, and Alan Leung down at the bottom. Which is not too uncommon for Alan Leung. He tends to not practice too much throughout the week and really just comes on here, hits his practice for like 15 minutes, figures it out in qualifying, and then just somehow comes out with incredible pace. I really don't know how he does it, because I certainly could not drive that way. Again, we are riding along here with Gavin Cook. Gavin Cook, 1 point off of Daniel Hirsch, like we talked about. Also complained he did not get enough airtime last week. So, Gav, I hope you come back and watch this. And there you go. You're on stream. Don't complain now. No, I'm just giving Gav a hard time. We all love ourselves some Gav here. But yeah, it's really, we see our top 4 drivers just have incredible pace. And then from there, it's a huge drop-off. But then you get into the middle of the grid, and it's so tight between Spencer, Damian, Nicholas, Juan Lopez, Tarugo, Professor Kronotis. I mean, you have like 6 drivers that are within half a second of each other. We are really setting ourselves up here for quite the exciting race tonight. As always, I mean, that's been the story of the season. Every race, there's been something exciting to watch. Last week at Indy was absolutely incredible. One of the most exciting races that I've watched in a while. We also got it in Laguna Seca, is another one that really stands out for me as such an exciting race, where we saw that battle between Gav Cook and I believe it was Daniel Hirsch. We saw the battle between Juan Lopez and Artur Sermanis, and then we saw the battle between Satsara and Tarugo as well, which was just such exciting battles up and down the grid. Morgan, for you driving this season, was there any race that really stands out to you as a favorite race that you've had this season?
Oh man, favorites from the season. Well, I'm not 100% sure, Dan. I'll have to take a look at the event list and see which one went without an incident. I haven't had a lot of luck so far this season. Unfortunately, been the victim of a few tough races. I think I had a good one at Red Bull Ring. That was our wet race, right? I
Yep.
believe I stayed out of trouble, and I think I landed on podium in category and 4th overall, if I remember right.
I do believe
so
you're
I think
right.
I had a good race at Red Bull Ring in the rain. So I'm gonna as much as I dislike Red Bull Ring as a track, it was fun in the wet. So I'm gonna pick that as my highlight of the season so far.
All right, yeah, that was an exciting race and a tough race last week in Indy for you. You know, we really followed along with that, and Indy's such a difficult track to drive too. But it was quite the exciting battle that we had between you, Sam, and I believe it was Kyle Hirsch as well, as you guys kind of battled lap after lap.
Yeah, well, and Indy was all self-inflicted wounds for me last week. I started the race. As Liam so elegantly put it in Discord, that I ruined 3 pairs of underwear in one corner, nearly killing Cooper and Liam by completely missing my braking zone on lap 1. And then from there, I found myself stuck behind my fellow sandbag and tried to do the old undercut, screwed up my pit strategy and missed my pit box, and the car had to get moved. So anyways, it was just a cascading effect of a bad race on my part. But I will say the battle at the end between Sam and Kyle was definitely a highlight. Tons of fun was there, and I was sweating.
Yep. Yeah, that it was. And here we are following along with Spencer as he's coming through the final turn here at Donington Park. This pit lane, as you see him passing it here, is tricky. He's pulling into it now, and it can throw drivers off. It's such a short pit lane that drivers, more than I've ever seen before, I see them run into the back of other drivers or have some other type of incidents that are happening. So that'll be something to watch. But without further ado, we are starting our qualifying session here. Arturas Hermanis is leading the group out. Let's ride along with him, and let's hop in our DRL helicopter as well. Thanks to our Patreon supporters for all their donations, we are able to fund a helicopter here, if you can believe it. Wow. Arturas Hermanis, as always, is leading the pack out. Tyler Morgan right behind him, looking to make a statement here in this qualifying session. It'll be interesting to see how Zawatsky is going to throw a mix in here. You know, we've had a very tough attendance ratio between silver drivers. Some of them had personal things come up and they've had to step away. But unfortunately, what we looked at in the beginning of the season as one of the potential most exciting classes to watch on the grid is we see Hermanis just destroy that barrier there. Really just turned out to be a 3-way battle between Lopez, Hermanis, and Morgan. So really every race they've come 1, 2, or 3, and it's kept them so close. With Zawatsky coming in the mix here now, I mean, someone's getting a 4th place. So this will be very interesting to see how it plays out here, as we're going to see Arturas come out of that final turn, lose a little bit of traction, but should be okay as he's going to start his lap here. As always, going to this first turn, you want to really get as wide as you can to carry as much speed as possible. Keep it straight. It is kind of easy to lose traction over on those curbs if you're not too careful with it. And then from here, it's a lot of feel. Do you find, Morgan, that you have good braking markers coming into these couple turns here? Or do you find it's more just off the feel?
Oh, what part of the track are we on here? This is like...
We're kind of coming through like...
this part is definitely a little bit by feel. When you're coming down, like after you've come around turn 1 there and you start going through those downhill like winding S's, it's definitely by feel. I do the thing you probably shouldn't do is I use like the black tire marks on the track as braking points around here. Maybe that's why I was struggling so much earlier today when I was trying to do practice. But yeah, there's some like references outside of the track you can kind of use and line your car up, but through that section specifically, not a lot of great markers like where we're seeing Archers going through right now. You got brake markers there. But that other section, no, it's definitely a lot more feel.
Yeah, and I notice it matters so much depending on your fuel load, because when you have a heavy car, it can unsettle so much easier. And this looks like a pretty good lap right off the bat for Hermanis. It may not be his best lap that he puts up with. A 127.7 is what he comes in with. But he is 1.3 seconds ahead of Tyler Morgan, so he's going to feel good about that. And that's a great banker lap. You can always feel good when you put your first lap up and it's a solid time. You're over a second ahead of your competition, which is a great feeling, and you can keep pushing those times. Let's ride along here with John Malott for a minute as he's coming through the last couple hairpins here of this track. These hairpins do provide probably the best places to overtake. We see cars try to throw them in on the inside. This final one is also a great spot for contact and incidents, and we see it happen all the time. Cars try to brake a little late. They can't slow down. They've thrown their car on the inside, and they're just kind of stuck running into someone. So it will be really interesting to see how this plays out here. We see Damian Zawadzki comes in with the 129.1, Creamy Von Cream with the 131.2, Will Sanchez with the 131.5, and we're riding along with Malott, who did not post a time initially, so he must have invalidated somewhere on his his first lap here. Let's take a moment and ride along with Damian Zawadzki, who is not new to the grid, but this is his first race here with us this season. Damian Zawadzki won our AM class last season when we were in a 3-category season, and he was promoted up from there. But it would have been very interesting to see if he could have played out the whole season, how that would have looked, as he is going to invalidate there. Let's take a moment and ride along with Creamy Von Cream, who is our creamiest driver on the track, as he's looking to come through this final hairpin here. What is he going to do? He is up just a little bit on his time. He will improve it, but not enough to make any significant difference. Let's see, is anyone on a good lap here? Juan Lopez was on a good lap. He just crossed the line, and he is up in second place, 7/10 behind Arturas Hermanis. Let's see, who else can we watch that's on a good lap? John Malott here, he just finished his lap. He is going to come in with a 130 flat, basically, so not too bad for him. He is, about 6-7 behind Tarugo. 6-7. So
6-7.
Yep. Let's see, anyone else who's on a good lap here? Let's ride along with Tarugo here as he's kind of working his way through. We see John Malott has pulled off and he has gone into the pits. For those of you who don't know, we do a split here for qualifying. The first 10 minutes are for our bronze and silver drivers. The second 10 minutes are for our gold and platinum drivers. Give everybody space on the track because you cannot overtake another driver on the track. Unless the driver invalidates, it's their position to hold. If you're faster than them, like we kind of see Tarugo running up onto the back of somebody here, too bad. You should have left yourself a little more space. You got to back out of your lap, give that space. We saw it happen in Indy as well, where some people had to back out of good qualifying laps because they caught up. So that's your responsibility as the driver. Tarugo's going to jump Tyler Morgan with a 128.9. A great lap for Tarugo there. Let's ride along with Sassara here. He's finishing his lap here. He is almost 8/10 up on his lap. This is going to be a big lap for him. He's going to cross the line and finish with a 129.1. So good lap for him. Not quite enough to get up to Damian, but he's ahead of Malott. Still ahead of Alan Leung. Alan Leung's on a mega lap right now, too, as he's going to cross the line here. Let's see what he finishes with. He's going to finish with a 129.6. Not enough to catch up to Satsara, and none of them have the pace to keep up with Tarugo, who looks to probably close off this season if he is able to win tonight. Morgan, when you're out there qualifying, have you been pulling into the pit stall during the qualifying, or are you just fueling to do the full 10 minutes?
No, I just fuel and do the full 10 minutes. I find if I break it up, I just lose focus and concentration. I seem to just gradually get a little bit quicker lap over lap. And I find taking less fuel, maybe doing 2 laps and then going back out there to do 2 more just breaks the flow up for me, and I don't end up being any faster by doing that method.
Very fair. Yeah, I'm not sure it's really a long enough qualifying session either. You know, if we had the full 20 minutes, it might make a little more sense. But
Yeah, seen a couple drivers do it. Like last week, I'm pretty sure, unless it was a mistake, saw Liam do that last week. Saw him go out, do a couple laps, hit the pits, and then back out for a couple more. So I think some drivers do use it as strategy, and obviously Liam would like top in our charts here for quality time. So seems to be a strategy that I think is working for him. I'm curious to see if he does it tonight once that group gets out on track here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zawadzki's crossing line here with a big lap. He's going to jump Tarugo. He's at a 128.5. A great lap for him, but that's still, oh gosh, 7/10 behind Juan Lopez this time. Juan's about half a second past Hermanis, who's leading right now with a 127.9. Really shows, and Hermanis is improving on it. He's about half a second up on his lap here as he's wrapping up to the end. Why we kind of fall along with him, I want to just take care of some housekeeping because I have been so engrossed in this qualifying. I haven't really been paying attention to chat so much. So Mojo Jojo, welcome to the chat. Our good friend Mojo Jojo Dojo Mojo. We love to see you here. One of our fan favorite Cooper bots. I'm sure Chef is lurking somewhere in chat. Neil, get ready to go. Woo! As Hermanis is gonna crash.
Oh!
You love to see that little wobble. We'll hop on with Tyler Morgan here as he goes around his lap. Sam, welcome to the chat. Yeah, Neil Zawadzki had a new monitor. His last one broke. Yeah, he also told us that he had some other personal commitments that tied him up for the first few races. But yeah, Sam, welcome to the chat. Love to have you here. Sad to see you not on the track. Always exciting to watch you and Morgan race. But thank you for hanging out with us in chat. So we are down to our last 15 seconds. Tyler's not going to get another lap, but we have a few drivers that are coming close to finishing the line. Alan Leung will probably be our last one to be able to put up another time. He is just getting across the line there. He is actually going to pull over. He's not going to do it. So this is kind of wrapping up here. Who is car 58? Juan Lopez, he's actually on an out lap. And car 18, Damian Zawadzki, they are both on one final lap here to see what they can do. Juan Lopez will have to find 8/10. Damian Zawadzki has pulled off, so that is his qualifying session over. Let's finish here with Juan Lopez to see if he can find that time. It looks like he invalidated, and that is going to be the end of his qualifying session. Tyler has not improved in any way, so maybe Juan didn't, but he's not really up enough. As it's going to sit for the back of our grid, Arturas Hermanis at 127 is the pole position time for silver, followed by Juan Lopez, Tyler Morgan, then Damian Zawadzki. Taking a look at our bronze class, Tarugo is going to set the pole position time with what was his best time? His best time was a 128.9, followed by Marion Southstar, Alan Leung, John Malott, Creamy Von Cream, and Will Sanchez. Very close battle between our bronze drivers. This should be exciting here tonight. Let's hop over and ride with Cooper Atherton as he leads the group out. He's coming around the final turn here as he's going to begin his first lap here of the qualifying session. Let's see what Cooper can do. In case you missed in the practice session, Cooper and Kerbal and Curran are all very, very close time-wise, separated by just 3/10. Neil and Cooper are almost identical times right now, so this is going to be such an important qualifying session, and this is going to be such an exciting battle for them tonight. I think when you have these close times like this, Morgan, pit stops become more important than ever. Do you go into the races with your pit stop strategy already in mind, or do you just kind of feel out how the race is going and decide it on the fly?
Usually got a starting strategy, and like a lot of people, let's go as long as you can till the end of that pit window. Take the minimum amount of fuel you need and go. That said, there's weeks like last week at Indy where I put myself way back down in the field, and instead of trying to battle my way through cars, I decided to pit early and try to undercut a handful of them. And that's always easier said than done, especially when you screw up your pit strategy, or not your strategy, but your pit stop, and it ends up taking longer than you'd hope. But yeah, I usually have, an idea, but you sometimes just got to roll with whatever happens out on track.
Yeah, and it seems like the main strategy of drivers has been to pit late in the race. However, we've seen a lot of success this season with the undercuts as Cooper's been flying around the track this lap. He's going to come in with a 126.8. I think he's going to want to see some improvement with that. A 126.6 for Neil Kerbel, who's going to cross the line behind him. Liam Curran is not able to get ahead of Neil Kerbel with a 126.7. So once again, our top three drivers are separated by 0.2 of a second. It is very close. Daniel Hirsch is going to come in with a 127.6. Who else do we got here? Spencer Braun, a 128.3. Gav Cook came up with a 127.5. So as it sits, Gav Cook is 1/10 ahead of Daniel Hirsch. Once again, this is a huge battle between these two. 2 races left in the season, separated by 1 point. You know, both of these drivers are feeling the pressure, and both of these drivers, for the first time, are finding themselves in a class that they could win. It's no knock to the skill of these drivers because both of them are incredibly skilled drivers. But it's been very difficult in our pro class because every season we've had 2 or 3 drivers who, what we would call, are in an alien class, really just a league of their own. This is the first time it's really been separated to give a lot of our other highly skilled drivers a chance to, you know, compete. And this has been such an exciting battle watching it go out in the gold class this season. Let's ride along with Daniel Hirsch right now, who is 0.6 up on his lap. He's coming through the couple final turns, but he is quickly coming to the back of Liam Curran, who that should not be a problem for him. Liam should have enough pace to go. He's going to come through this final turn, and Daniel Hirsch is going to get in front of Gav Cook. He is going to have about half a second ahead of Gav Cook. Gav is not really improving on his time right now, but Kyle Hirsch is improving as he's going to cross the line. Kyle Hirsch is going to not improving enough though. Wow, he's still way down the charts in 12th place right now. A 127.9 was what he ran on his last lap there as he looks to improve that. Let's hop on with Neil Kerbel here with a beautiful new livery for his last couple races here, but Neil is running to the back of Cooper Atherton, which again should be fine. Cooper Atherton is starting to run back close to Professor Chronotis, which may be problematic. Professor Chronotis is running right now almost 3 seconds slower than what Cooper Atherton is. So let's see how this ends up playing out. Cooper might have to back out of this. He's not really, he's up by about 0.4. He's going to want to finish this lap. Professor Chronotis is going to move out of the way to let these guys through. A classy move from Professor Chronotis, who did not have to do that. He could have chose to hold his position. He doesn't want to interfere. Cooper Atherton is going to put up the pole position and immediately is taken away by Neil Kerbel. A 126.4 for Cooper Atherton and a 126.3 is what Neil Kerbel responds with as he is going to slip and slide in the dirt over there. Whew, how exciting is that? Liam is not really improving enough. Let's see, who else can we follow along with right now? Nicholas Mari is up 0.7 on his lap as he's going through the final turn here up the track. What is Nicholas going to be able to put up? He is going to get up to 8th place overall with a 127.6. An incredible lap for Nicholas Mari. Professor Chronotis let the other drivers through, and he is up big only halfway through this lap. He's 0.7 up on this lap. Let's see if he can hold on to it and ride along with him a little bit here. Professor Chronotis is another driver who seems to find incredible pace during the race. I don't know if he's not practicing as much as the other drivers are, or if he just is someone who really finds his footing as he goes. You know, as weird as it sounds, I've always been someone who prefers driving with a heavier car opposed to a lighter car. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm a little quicker with it, which I think says more about my driving than really anything else. But nonetheless, he might be someone who falls in that category where he just does better when he has a longer time and just get into that flow state. He's still up big on this lap as he's going through his final turn here. He's going to come through. It can be very tricky to get good traction on this exit, and he's going to get it. He's going to jump ahead of Kyle Hirsch with a 128.4. Great lap for Professor Chronotis. Coming out of these hairpins, it can be a little bit tricky. swap on with Cooper Atherton. We have car 714, which is on the side right now, which is Nicholas Mari, who has pulled off. But coming out of these hairpins, it can be sometimes tricky to make sure you get good traction coming out and don't lose time having just to accelerate out or getting the wheels to spin. It hasn't seemed to be a problem for our drivers too much here. But yes, we are in such a close battle here in the Platinum class. The first time that I could think of that we've been treated to this with our excellent drivers. Usually there's one who's a little bit faster, but not tonight. They're all neck and neck with each other. Neil seems to be slightly outpacing Cooper, who's slightly outpacing Liam, but there's a lot of laps left. Cooper is up on this lap here. If he can finish these last few turns well, he might be able to jump up, but Liam behind him is also putting up a much better lap time here, so we'll just have to see what happens. Neil is running pretty much identical at this point, so he's going to have to find some space somewhere. Cooper lost a little bit of time into that hairpin there. He's coming out the final turn, and Coop has lost it. He kind of backed out of this a little bit towards the end of the lap here. Not exactly sure why, unless he wants to gear up for one more. But Liam's going to come through. I don't think he's going to have quite enough to jump it, and he does it. But as he starts, he's going to come through the last turn here. Not quite enough. Still a great lap for Liam here.
Yeah, great improvement. I mean, still he took 3/10 off, and these guys got one more shot at it. I think they got through the line just in time, or not just in time, but not enough time to do one more after this. So I think this is going to be the last shot for our top three.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right. I think Nicholas Mari, who's getting ready to cross the line now, will probably be the last driver who's able to put up one more lap here. I don't think anyone else is going to have it in them. Stone Wars, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Welcome to DRL. Cooper Bots Unite. Cooper Bots, let's go. We are so happy to have you here. I hope you're having a great night tonight. We have such an exciting race here. Thank you for the follow, Stone Wars. We really appreciate it. We need one more follow to hit 200 here for this channel. A huge milestone. If you're lurking in the chat, be that 200 for us. We want it so badly. Just like Cooper wants to get pole. Will he be able to do it? We're following along here as he's going through these final turns here. Neil has got in front of him at some point. Neil is going to not improve. Cooper is going to just pull into the pits. He did not improve, but Liam's coming through. Liam is up 2/10 right now on this lap. This is the lap for Liam. His last lap, his final opportunity through the last turn. He's going to cross the line. And he's not able to get it. He invalidated or something happened in the final time. That's so unfortunate because going into that last turn, he was up, but here we are. We have finished. Neil Kerbel is going to take pole position for the Platinum class. Cooper Atherton, second overall. Liam Curran, third overall. So close in the pace between them. A 10th between the three of them. You love to see it. We're really set up for such an exciting race here. Let's take a moment and do our quick grid walk. So there we go. The beautiful new livery of Neil Kerbel. He has come out here and held pole position. Alongside him will be Cooper Atherton, our fan favorite here for all our Cooper bots. Followed by Liam Curran in third place overall of Goose Racing. We have in pole position for the gold class, Daniel Hirsch. We were so tied up in that platinum class, we kind of lost track of the gold race, but Daniel Hirsch has held off pole position, which is so important for him because he is 1 point ahead of Gav Cook. Next to Daniel Hirsch, we have Arturas Hermanis, who has pole position for the silver class. A big pole position for Arturas Hermanis here, who with a victory tonight may be able to get just enough points to seal that victory for the silver class. We have Kyle Hirsch in the platinum class, who has still not updated his livery. Shame on you, Kyle Hirsch. Then we have Gav Cook. So this is big for Daniel. Gav is down in 7th. He's in 4th. And Gav's got to get through Kyle Hirsch. He's got to get through Arturas Hermanis. We will see if the Hirsch brothers decide to implement any team orders here. Although Hirsch brothers are not ones to want to work together as much as they are wanting to compete out here. But he's still going to have to work through Hermanis, who can be a very difficult driver to get past. Behind Gav, he has his teammate Spencer Braun. Alongside him, we have Professor Chronotis, who had a great qualifying out there, and Nicholas Mari as well, who we saw put up an incredible lap out there in qualifying. Then we're going to move to the rest of our silver drivers, Juan Lopez, Tyler Morgan, and Damian Zawadzki. It's going to be so interesting to see how Damian comes in the mix here. We have Tyler and Juan, who've been battling it out in second place in this ever-going, exciting battle in the silver class. And we're going to finish off with our bronze class here. Tarugo is leading out the bronze in pole position, who hopes to make it a 5th victory in a row tonight for him. Then we have Marion Sathsara, Alan Leung, John Malott, Creamy Von Cream, and Will Sanchez rounding out the grid. This is certainly going to be such an exciting race tonight. I can't wait. So much to look forward to up and down the grid. We're going to see battles everywhere. I think these might even be our closest times all in all. Nike Automatic. No. Stone Wars says, Cooper saved my family from a terrible house fire. I owe my life to him. What an absolute guy Cooper is. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. The stories we hear about Cooper is absolutely incredible. He is truly a hero, and I don't use that term lightly, but he is our hero here at DRL. What a guy. Morgan, what's something that you're going to be looking forward to tonight or wanting to keep an eye on as we, get ready to start this race out here?
I think the big thing to watch, like always, is who gets in trouble and who doesn't as far as opening lap contacts. As I'm speaking, just got to do a huge shout out to Beamboy 20205. You are follower number 200. What's up? Thank you so much for the follow. Big milestone for our channel on Twitch. 200 followers. Thank you so much. You're probably another Cooper bot, but we'll take you. Yeah, Dan, back to the racing and what's coming up. Yeah, just to see who keeps their nose clean. This track is tight and it's not very wide. Like it's going to be hard to do any kind of side-by-side racing here. So I think opening lap's going to be something to keep an eye on, and who can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, a great point. It is such a tough track to be side-by-side on and picking your opportunities. I think we really saw such a good display in Indy of drivers trying to force mistakes, weaving from side to side to fill up the mirrors, trying to put that pressure, anything you can do to just distract the driver in front of you for that micro of a second where they just miss their braking point a little bit, they run a little wide, they open up a gap, and as I think we get towards the end of the race, we will see drivers get a little more crazy with it. Bean Boy, you are here to glaze Cooper. Chef, welcome again to the chat. We have such an exciting battle here tonight. Big milestone for us, 200 followers. We are so excited. We don't care that 198 of them are Cooper bots because we got all the love for Cooper here. But thank you guys so much for all your love and support on this channel. It really means so much to us to see how this community has grown and how far it's come in just the last couple years. And especially for Morgan here, who's with me, who's the founder here of DRL. I think when you guys started this so many years ago, I don't think you ever envisioned it could get here, but it's just such a testament to the leadership that we have here at DRL and the hardworking admins we have, especially the commentators. I think the commentators this season have been great, more so in ACC than iRacing, but I'm probably a little biased.
Yeah, Dan, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back, man. You certainly deserve it. No, but for real, I'll echo what Dan said, man. Like, DRL is all about community first. Is how we build our league. We're here for a good time. We like to do some racing on the side, but if you're looking for a community that you just want to hang out with, a bunch of great people to come join our Discord, come chat, come hang out, and even if you're not into racing, you can still come hang out with us because yeah, we all about community and making sure people feel welcome and fit in.
All right, we got another follower from Cooper Bot Lover. So thank you, Cooper Bot Lover. You guys are all right here. A beautiful community. But yeah, just to echo what you said, it is such a great community, and we encourage everyone who's, if you drive at all, whether it's iRacing, ACC, LMU, Rally, whatever it is that's your jam, join us in Discord. We'd love to have you. If you've ever thought about wanting to join a league, worried you're not skilled enough to do it, there's only one Cooper Atherton, right? And we all know this. We got skills, driver skills up and down the grid. This season, we have 3 or 4 drivers who have like less than 5 hours of sim time on here, and they're on with us. We love to have you, and we want to continue to build this great community that we have. We are riding along here on the outlap as we've been talking here. As always here at DRL, we do a full outlap, give the drivers a chance to heat those tires, to prepare themselves mentally and get ready to race. We've seen quite the exciting starts to race this season. We've seen quite a few times the second place driver be able to jump first place with a better start. We will see what happens here. We are going to fall along at the front of the grid. Maybe we'll pop back into the back if things look crazy. Damian Zawadzki has chose to start in the pit lane, so I'm not sure why that decision was made, but that decision was made. Might be just to avoid some chaos. But we are going to get ready to go as we cross that start-finish line. Any second now, the flag will turn green and these drivers will be off. And we are racing here at DRL. Cooper Atherton is going to immediately defend Leon on the inside. Leon's going to just kiss the back of Cooper a little bit, something we all wish that we had an opportunity to do once in our life. Side by side between Daniel Hirsch and Liam Curran there in the back is not going to work out for Daniel Hirsch. Let's kind of drop back the grid a little bit and see what's going on in the back as we ride along with Tarugo. Everyone seems to be playing it fairly safe here. Nothing too much to support. We're going to see Alan Leung maybe throw a nose inside and make Tarugo think a little bit, as Will Sanchez is going to get past him a lot with an incredible move. As we said, the drivers are going to try to fill the mirrors, and that is exactly what Will Sanchez did. Put the pressure on him. Let's see here. So far, the start looks pretty straightforward all in all. Damian Zawadzki did come out of the pits, so it looks like he just chose to maybe avoid any chaos, which if you haven't been driving too much lately, that might be the safer thing to do than to get caught up in the mess of it. Let's hop on with Gav Cook as he continues to push forward. Gav Cook is ahead of Kyle Hirsch, so something must have happened with Kyle that we missed. He's got to get past Hermanis so that way he can get to Daniel Hirsch with a little bit of a gap there. He wants to close that off. The drivers are kind of settling in. Tyler Morgan got ahead of Nicholas Mari. Sassara is looking to close that as well. Nicholas Mari is going to want to try to get that back here as we're going to look into these final couple turns here as we saw the drivers getting very close there. Nicholas Mari's thinking about throwing that down on the inside. I don't think he's going to quite have the opportunity to. He's going to have to just back out of that, which he's going to do. Neil Kerbel is still leading this race. Cooper Atherton is half a second behind him, and Leon Curran is 7/10 behind Cooper Atherton. So this has been a great start for them up and down the grid as Cooper Atherton is going to look for his opportunity to strike here. Will it be on the track or will it be in the pits? We talked about this a little bit earlier. We've seen a surprising amount of success this season from undercuts. A lot of drivers have found it great to make that undercut move. I'm not so sure how well it will work out for our top drivers, but if you're in the middle of the pack, I think it's absolutely a strategy that you want to be thinking about as we go here. Following along with these three, Daniel Hirsch is falling about a second and a half behind them. Arturas Hermanis is a second and a half past him, and Gav Cook is 6/10 behind him. Gav is want to get past Hermanis as soon as he can to start chasing out Daniel Hirsch. And will this be his opportunity? No, he's going to pull it back inside. Again, just trying to fill the mirrors of Hermanis. He's going to try to get a better line on the inside, see if he can line up on this final turn. He might have enough overlap. I don't think he's going to risk it here. He's not. He's just going to kind of funnel behind him and look for the next opportunity. Maybe get a little better traction out of turn one as he's right on the back of Hermanis, almost making contact there. And he has Kyle Hirsch right behind him as well. So it's always difficult to attack while you're also trying to defend. What's your thoughts on that, Morgan, when you're out there and you're trying to attack while also having a car right in your rear? Are you more focused on the defense, on the attack, or are you trying to split your attention between both?
Yeah, I mean it's a tough balance. You have to do both. I mean you want to look to move forward, but you can't take your eye off the guy behind you because if you get blocked up by the guy in front of you, it can't open the door for the guy behind to stick a nose in, get in somewhere where you maybe didn't anticipate. So you got to watch. And I feel for poor Arders here too as well. This guy consistently shows week after week that he's got insane one lap quality pace, and then gets ahead of a lot of our gold drivers week after week. But once these cars fill up on fuel, now he's got to deal with the pressure of these boys who typically seem to build up pace through the race. So yeah, we'll see how he does keeping Gav and Kyle behind him here as the race moves on.
Yeah, and I do believe you were driving the, the Mustang as well this season, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, have you noticed the pace fall off on it throughout the race?
Yeah, I mean, not as bad as I would say the Porsche, to be honest, although Gav and Spencer seem to do a great job with it, but I would always find the Porsche really to fall off towards the end of the race. The Mustang, for me, hangs on a bit better. But one thing, like kind of like what we see with Arters, is I do find the Mustang, when it's light on fuel, it is very, very fast. So it's really easy to put down some good quality laps in that car, and then maybe you suffer a little bit, on race pace once you fill it up full of fuel.
Yeah, it has felt this season that Hermani's pace has dropped a little bit as the races have gone on, but that could be for a lot of different reasons. Coop is falling back a little bit. We're about a second and a half right now behind Neil Kerbel, and we have Liam right behind us putting in the pressure. With that said, our pit window has just opened here, so the drivers have 35 minutes to make a pit stop at some point here. For those of you who aren't familiar, they do not have to take tires. The only mandatory thing is fuel. You must take some level of fuel. The strategy for the most part this season has seemed to be splash and dash, taking a liter or two. Cooper went a little wide on that turn there, went up on the grass, and he is getting defensive here now. He is starting to feel the pressure from Liam behind him. You're seeing that pace fall off to Neil, and he is absolutely feeling the pressure. Is Liam going to look to line up a move here? He's not. I think Liam is going to be strategic here. Neil's not running away with it enough, and Liam's going to pull to the pits immediately. We talked about, do you make that undercut move? Liam is doing it. This is going to be exciting. He's going to choose not to battle with Cooper, not try to make that overtake, and it's probably the cleanest thing to do is not lose any time. Take your liter or two of fuel and carry on. Let's hop up on this battle with Kyle Hirsch, Gav Cook, and Arturs Hermanis. This one's close. Juan Lopez is chasing down Professor Chronotis. That's one we might want to keep an eye on as well. Nicholas Mari is chasing down Tyler Morgan. Let's see, where else are we? Damian Zawadzki is looking to make some places up. Let's hop on with him real quick as he looks to get past Will Sanchez. Both of them are going to run wide. Oh, and it looks like contact was made there. Let's take a quick glance back at what exactly happened there. Let's hop in our heli cam. And man, both of them just run a little bit wide. Will's going to spin, and thankfully no contacts made. Will's going to lose traction, but he's going to get out of that safe all in all. Let's hop back over.
Yeah, I think, Dan, it looked like there Zawadzki was maybe just getting over a little bit because Curran was exiting the pits. A really tough track for where the pit lane comes back onto track. Coming out of pits, you're going to have right away, and they come right onto the racing line. So I think Sanchez got off the racing line there, and that threw off his entry into turn one, which probably made him lose the rear end.
Yeah, and as we talk about that, Tyler Morgan looked to make a move there. He overshot it. A great switchback move to defend for Juan Lopez. He let Tyler just kind of fly past him and go through. Tyler thankfully able to hold that position from Nicholas Mari right behind him. But again, another great battle. We got tight battles forming here throughout the grid. Tarugo was passed by Alan Leung at one point. So Alan Leung is holding... Well, Satsara is holding first place actually right now in the bronze, but Alan Leung is battling right now with Tarugo, who's looking to find somewhere to make a move. Most likely, as we talked about, this is just such an easy track. A little mistake. Anytime you hit grass, it is just nothing you can really do to save the car a lot of times. You just hope to minimize damage as much as possible. But yeah, Satsar is going to find himself once again in first place, and he is in first place by a good chunk right now. He is about 6.5 seconds ahead of Alan Leung. Nicholas Mari and Tyler Morgan were able to get ahead of Juan Lopez. I want to go back and see if we can catch this here. What happened with Juan? And just again, you get up on the grass a little bit and you got to get off the acceleration. You can't really continue to accelerate as much as you would. That's going to start to create that gap here. And what's going to happen for him, he's going to run a little bit wide here, and he just gets up on that curve, and oh, he's going to take some big damage there. That's devastating for Juan's race. Really unfortunate for him. All right, we see a battle here. Professor Chronotis and Gav Cook. We hop in, and oh, man, you hate to see it. Crashing and bashing. Cars hitting left and right. So unfortunate to see. Let's hop back and see this here. We're watching along with Gav Cook here. Him and Professor Chronotis, little bumping right there as Professor Chronotis throws the car on the inside. Gav's trying to make it up. He's flying. He's going to take that inside line for the final turn here. He does get there. It looks like enough. He's going to run a little wide. They're going to make contact. They're sitting. He's trying to get out of the way and right into Nicholas Murray. All of them make contact. You hate to see it. Thank God that wasn't Cooper Atherton. Stone Wars, you're absolutely right. I don't know if we could have handled this. We might have had to end the stream if that was Coop. Go ahead, Morgan.
I don't know if there's anything from earlier, Dan, but I'm curious to see what happened to Gav, because I just noticed when we watched that replay, he was actually back behind Spencer and Kyle. So I wonder if he had a mistake earlier in that lap that put him back behind those guys.
Yeah, definitely something could have happened here as we see him get past Juan Lopez as they almost look to bump. But, it's probably the story of this track, which is spinning, falling off, going wide, hitting grass. But, yeah, so unfortunate for Gav. We'll see what happens with him. Is he going to end up taking repairs? How's that going to look for... who else was caught? Nicholas Mari was caught up in that, and Professor Chronotis as well was caught up in that. So what's going to go? Gav is not going to pull into the pit, so he's going to feel like he's got enough drive to keep going on there. But this is huge for Daniel Hirsch. Daniel Hirsch is in third place overall right now with Liam taking his pit early as he looks to kind of catch up. Where's Liam on the track here? Liam is right behind Nicholas Mari here as he's looking to catch up. So hopefully for Liam's sake, he's not finding himself get caught up too much. And it looks like Nicholas isn't really choosing to fight with Liam too much, which I'm guessing a lot of the drivers are going to feel like, when you get someone who has so much better pace than you, it's kind of better just for everyone to let him through. You're just going to lose time trying to hold them off, and they're going to get past you anyways, and all you do is risk contact. So Liam is carving up the track, making his way back. Spencer is now attacking Hermanis as he's right behind him. See what Spencer can do here is he's one of the close ones. We also see Tyler dropping down the track. Let's go back and see what happened with Tyler here. Again, just running wide and spinning out. Once you go on the grass, what I find you have to do is you just have to lift off the acceleration. You can't accelerate when you're on the grass. You're going to lose the car, and you got to just hope you can coast safely onto the track or brake and slow down just a little bit. But it's hard in the race to not throw your foot down on the acceleration to try to keep making up pace. But unfortunately for Tyler Morgan, he has spun. That has opened up for Juan Lopez, who is chasing down Gav Cook, who is chasing down Kyle Hirsch, Kyle Hirsch is running wide there, and it looks like he barely saved the car. Woo! Tight one for Kyle Hirsch, who is chasing down Spencer Braun as well. But yeah, Daniel finds himself in a great position. He's got a 1-point lead over the rest of the class, and Gav's got to find something to do here. He does not want to find himself falling too far down the grid here. Cooperbot Lover says, Cooper, slow down. You're about to lap your own shadow. Absolutely true, Cooperbot. Although I think Coop wants to find about 5 seconds here to catch up to Neil Kerbel, who is leading the race by about 5 seconds. Daniel Hirsch is 6.3 seconds behind Cooper Atherton. So he's just kind of in his own little race here doing Cooper things. And for all our Cooper bots out there, let's sit inside with Cooper Atherton as he finishes his lap here. Just a beautiful thing it is, that Coop guy. All right, let's hop back over with Spencer Braun to see if he's going to look to make any moves here. We might look down the grid. Let's look at Professor Chronotis. He's going to look to get past Alan Leung right now. Alan Leung is 4 seconds ahead of John Malott. Tarugo has also decided to take his pit lane with falling down the grid. He has just decided, let's get into pit lanes. I think similar to what you said, Morgan, is if you find yourself where you maybe have better pace than the driver, sometimes the easiest way to overtake them is just to pull into the pits and get some clean air to just start beating them off pure pace on track.
Yeah, for sure. Although I'm realizing now after making that comment, it doesn't work at all tracks. We saw Liam pit really early and unfortunately came out into right smack in the middle of the pack. So from where he was on track in our top 3, he ended up putting himself right in the middle with some slower paced cars. So he may trying to undercut Cooper, but I'm curious to see if it works out because he's going to have to battle his way through some drivers that are probably holding back his overall lap pace again.
Yeah, and you're right, because there's a lot of tracks where it's hard to overtake, but there's lots of opportunities too if you're brave enough or quick enough. This is a track where there are very few spots where the track is really wide enough to get side by side and not cause contact. So you're right in that you are a little bit limited into the opportunities, even if you do have much better pace on where you can really get that car past. So he's really setting himself up to need to be very careful, not risk anything, as we're watching Zawadzki chase down John Malott right now, see if he can catch that up. Nicholas Mari got ahead of Marion Satsara, and it looks like Gav Cook has got ahead of Kyle Hirsch, but that's only because Kyle has chose to go into the pits and take his pit stop as well. Let's see, anyone else pulling into the pit lanes? Nope, just Kyle right now. It's still kind of in that weird time, although for me, usually around the 20-minute mark was when I like to pull into the pits. I don't know why. If you take it too long, you start to mess with myself a little bit too much mentally, so I guess you got to do what makes you comfortable. Let's hop on with Liam here. Liam is going to slide past Tyler Morgan, and Tyler almost lost a little bit of traction going up on the grass there. And, I mean, like you said, that's the risk you take, right? Is sometimes it's not intentional contact, it's just accidental. Even when drivers are trying to get out of your way, something can happen.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I mean, it can be even as simple as somebody losing the car in front of you when you got nowhere to go. And that's, that's not a malicious act by the driver, but it's just part of racing sometimes. So yeah, you can definitely put yourself into a bit more risk by making that early stop, putting yourself into the middle of the track. The more cars around you, the more chance there is for something to go wrong.
Yep, absolutely. And Kyle Hirsch has come out of the pits. He's got ahead of both John Malott and Damian Zawadzki, but Damian Zawadzki did get ahead of John Malott, who came flying in there. I thought we were going to see some contact there. That was crazy. But thankfully, Malott was able to just coast through the beach. He ends up fine, has a nice little vacation on the beach, watch some whales, and he is going to continue to chase down Zawadzki here. Liam has also got past Juan Lopez, so it looks like Liam is not losing time carving up the grid here, as he's in 7th place now and has about 4.5 seconds to go to catch Gav Cook, which now I think we're going to start getting to the time where it becomes a lot trickier for Liam to pass. I think the bronze drivers are very cognizant it's Liam behind him and are just saying, I'm going to get out of his way, and some of them might be even thinking there's a possibility that they're getting lapped or a blue flag. So used to seeing that car in their mirrors are going to just know to pull out of the way. Some of these other guys, Gav, Spencer, Hermanis, they're not going to be as excited to get out of the way. Scribble, welcome to the chat. Go, Braun, go. We are cheering for Spencer to see what he can do tonight. But Scribble, I hope you are having a wonderful night tonight. And we are so excited that you are here.
Well, Dan, looking at this battle on track between Spencer and Archer's making me eat my own words and is doing a fantastic job this race, keeping the boys in gold behind, sitting in a P4. I don't think that's net P4 because Liam has pitted, but I still do believe Hirsch is behind. So Archer's doing a great job making that Mustang extra wide here at Donington. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. He's doing such a good job. He's able to hold that pace. I mean, we're kind of riding along with him in his battle here. Just great lines and not giving anyone an opportunity to go and just absorbing that pressure, right? That's what you got to do is just not get distracted and keep your car in the right position. Don't give them opportunities. And I think on this track more than ever, it's so important to get good exit speed throughout your turns, especially these slow hairpins, and not give someone the opportunity, especially into that final turn, to get alongside you. If you don't give them the opportunity to get alongside you, then there is no opportunity for them to make the move. Well, of course, they might try to make the move still, but, you know, if they get to a point where they're in title space, which we're going to see Spencer look to do it here. He's going to go a little bit deep. That's not going to be enough. A great move for Hermanis. He's going to look to put the defense on here. Is Spencer going to look to make a move into this final turn? I don't think he's going to have enough overlap, but that's not going to stop him. He's going to look to make the move. He's going to get the car slowed down in time. What a move by Spencer Braun to get ahead of Hermanis. Wow, that was incredible driving right there. I'm going to be honest. I thought Spencer was going to fly into the side of Hermanis there. Incredible job by him to slow that car down, grab that inside line. What a move by Spencer Braun there. Scribble, but that was for you. I heard him on the comms.
Yeah, that was incredible. The that first attempt by Braun, great awareness by Arturs to not turn into that corner, let Spencer go sailing through, got back ahead. I think where Arturs maybe made a small mistake there was choosing not to defend into that final corner. He left the door open for Spencer to absolutely send another one on him. So, yeah, kudos to Braun. Great overtake, and good awareness by Arturs too. He's obviously leading his class of the silver drivers, and probably a little bit of self-preservation there, and just being like, yeah, it's okay to let Braun go.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I'm not sure why he didn't defend that inside line. But I think, to be honest, he wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting Spencer to throw that move. It looked like he was a little too far back, and it was a really gutsy move by Spencer to throw that car inside the way that he did and manage not to make contact. And just to take a quick moment and tell a fun story about Hermanis here. With our league here, we started as an F1 league before we moved to ACC, and one of our first races that we did as we were doing like preseason racing here in ACC was here on Donington Park, and it was one of the first times I raced with Hermanis when he had joined us for ACC racing, and he must have hit me like 15 times throughout our race. I was just like, I don't know who this guy is, but this guy needs to learn to freaking drive, because he just kept smashing into me. And he ended up having like 500 ping throughout the race, and everything was bouncing around, and he was trying to figure it out. So, but yeah, so just, it was a funny story. His first time racing, I was just like, what the hell's going on with this guy? Just for it to end up being lag, and on his end, he's like, I didn't know what to do, and I got to figure out my internet stuff. So I'm happy to see that he's worked it out, because he's been a great driver this season for us, as he's still chasing down Spencer. I mean, this is still our closest battle right now. The drivers have kind of settled into their positions on the track, so we'll kind of ride along with this for a moment. Creamy Von Cream's in the pits. As we were talking, Tyler Morgan decided to do his pit stop. Tyler's one driver who, it seems, the early pits have always worked very well for him. Liam's still in 7th place. He's cut that down from 4.5 seconds to about 1 second right now, so we'll keep an eye on him. Actually, he's down to 2/10. He's really closed that on Gav. Wow. That just jumped down there through that turn. Liam is not going to look to make it into the final turn on the track here, so he's going to be stuck behind Gav here as long as he can. We'll kind of watch along and see where does Liam decide to pass Gav as they work their way down to the first turns on the track. But yeah, we have kind of some sporadic pit stops throughout the track, so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out in the end. But by and large, the drivers seem to have kind of settled into their races here, which on a technical track isn't too surprising. Gav's going to take a little bit curve there. I don't think it's enough to affect him too much. And it's not. Liam's got a good run up this turn. This is an opportunity where you can kind of throw it on the inside. If you want to try to make a move, he is going to not make a move here. He's going to take a little bit too much curve there and give Gav a few tenths worth of breathing room. But yeah, Liam's going to have to make sure he's careful picking his spots, and that's where he's going to do it. Gav's going to run a little wide. That seems to be a very popular spot on the track for drivers to go wide. and it's going to unleash Liam. Next up is Hermione's. Hermione's is 7 seconds ahead of him on the grid, so Liam's got a little work to do to catch up to Hermione's. Hermione's has fallen about a second away from Spencer Braun. With that, let's hop on with Damian Zawadzki, who is chasing down Alan Leung. Alan Leung was one of the drivers that he battled with last season in a very exciting three-way battle between him, Zawadzki, Tarugo, and Leung. It was very exciting in the AM class last season. Came down to the final races, along with Tyler Morgan as well. He looks to chase him down. He's about 8/10 behind, so this is our closest battle on the track, so we will follow along with Zawadzki on his great return to DRL. We're so excited to have him back.
Yeah, it's good to see Damian back on track. Missed him most of this season. I believe he was moving across the country, from what I understand, and then had some monitor problems, I heard, after that. So good to see Damian back on track. Was our AM champion last season. Is that right?
That he was, right. And
yes.
Not only has he been moving across the country, but he is moving up in the leaderboards as he passed Alan Leung there that we saw on the track. Let's see, who can we ride along with here? Let's take a little bit of time to ride along with Marion Satsara. Marion Satsara has not pit yet. Most of the other bronze class drivers have, so we'll see when he decides to make his pit stop, but he has quite the lead right now. Alan Leung also has a pit, but something happened with Tarugo. We weren't sure if it was contact or if he just went wide off the track, and he kind of fell down the grid, and this has opened it up for Marion Satsara. He took the lead, and he has not looked back. It has been such a consistent drive for him tonight out there. He's got Professor Chronotis behind him. We'll see if Chronotis, when Chronotis chooses to attack and how much Satsara chooses to defend. You know, you hate to not have good battles on the track, but if I was Satsara, I would be looking to not lose any time anywhere I can, and you got to ask yourself, who's your race with? Is your race with Chronotis or is your race with the bronze class? And you don't want to lose that time feeling that pressure. Juan Lopez is going to pull into the pits, so we will see where he comes out, and just as expected, Satsara is going to choose not to battle with Professor Chronotis. He's going to let him through and focus on putting in the best laps that he can, lap after lap, as he looks to try to continue to grow that gap to not only Alan Leung, but Tarugo as well, who is the lead bronze class driver of those who have pit already. All right, we're going to hop on with Tyler Morgan. Tyler Morgan is trying to chase down Juan Lopez right now. Tyler Morgan took his pit stop a little earlier. He is, about a second behind Juan Lopez. That might go up after he has gone off-roading a little bit. It seems like some of the drivers here have forgot this is ACC and not ACC Rally. But the pit stop has worked out well for Juan. The early pit stop did not work out for Tyler tonight. He's got to figure out how to pass Juan on track, and whether it's to force a mistake or, these final couple turns on the track have been a great opportunity for a lot of drivers to make that move if you can slow your car down enough in order to brake, as we see. Nicholas Mari's in the pits right now. Will Sanchez is in the pits right now. We have about 13 minutes left in our pit window, and drivers are choosing to do it now. Very interesting timing choice for these drivers, but if you feel like you have a gap, you might as well take it. All right, let's see. Liam has got his gap down to about 3.5 seconds as he continues to chase down Arturas Hermanis. Cooper Atherton, we'll ride along with him for a tiny bit for our Cooper bots. Cooper Atherton is 7 seconds right now behind Neil Kerbal. So as Neil has done all season long, has just found this incredible pace throughout the race. Any idea how he's been doing it, Morgan?
I don't know, man. He's just fast.
That's one way to do it, is to just be fast.
Just be fast. I don't know. Some of these lap times these guys do, I don't know how they do it. I mean, obviously, racing comes with a variety of skills, and we all think that we're or we all do the best that we can and within our capabilities. And it's always, I think, every time you look up to people going faster, you always wonder, how do they do it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we might need to get some PED testing on Neil Kerbel after the run he's had this season. Maybe some performance-enhancing wine that he's been drinking pre-race.
Yeah, that's right. We need to check the wine glasses.
Check the wines, check the cats. So, as we've been talking here, Daniel Hirsch has pulled into the pits, so we'll see where he comes out relative to these other drivers. But this is the part of the track where things will start to come up. Who is going to come out where in the pit stops? The strategies come out. Who's running Red Bull strategies and who is running Ferrari strategies? That will be the question that we will see. Alan Leung is pulling into the pits as well. So where is he going to come out relative to Tarugo? That'll be interesting to see. Very few drivers have not pit at this time, which is kind of surprising with still 16 minutes left in the race. Alan Leung is going to come out of the pits and he is going to be ahead of Tarugo still. I believe that was Will Sanchez who went right in front of him. It was. Tarugo is right behind him. A little tricky with the same liveries, but we can look at our track map. Tarugo is about 2 seconds behind Leung right now, so Tarugo is absolutely a driver who can find pace on track, and he, if anyone, can make it happen out there, so we'll have to keep an eye on where that comes into play. Liam Curran did just get past Arturas, so Arturas did not really fight it too much and let him go through. Liam is up to 4th place right now. This is huge for him, although he has 2.5 seconds to Spencer Braun, who is 29 seconds behind Cooper Atherton. So this is going to be very interesting to see where these guys choose to pit, and I don't know what I would do if I was Cooper Atherton, if I just pull into that pit to give myself enough time to catch up if I need to, or if I just push this thing as long as I can. Marion Satsara is in the pit lanes as well. This is going to be big. Where does he come out relative to Alan Leung? Where does he come out relative to Tarugo as well? He's slowly working his way out of the pit lanes. We are across the pit limiter. He is accelerating out. Car number 3 is coming up behind him, which is Cooper Atherton. He's not going to want to hold up Cooper Atherton, but he has a huge gap to Alan Leung. Oh, about 12 seconds or so to him. But he got to stop and go 30. He got to stop and go 30. That is devastating for Marion Satsara. That is ruining a victory for him on this track. Oh, that's so devastating. This is such a tricky pit lane. It's so short. Oh, you hate to see it. Absolutely devastating for Marion Satsara, who I'm assuming probably sped coming into the pit lanes. It is such a small pit lane that you're pulling into, and it's so easy to, probably more than any track, to speed into the pit lanes here. So unfortunate for Satsara. This has been an incredible race, and it's absolutely derailed at this point. Although stop and go 30, he must have been going really fast, huh?
Yeah, that's quick. Unless that, no, because drive-through is for track limit, so it wasn't that. So yeah, he would have been going pretty quick to not get a drive-through. Pretty much as close as you can get without being DQ'd.
Yeah, and Burt Macklin, thank you for the gifted sub, and it goes to Cooperbot Bean Boy himself. Bean Boy, one of our new followers to this channel, thank you so much for your follow. Now enjoy your gifted sub. You are officially a supporter and a subscriber, and thanks to your support, Bean Boy, we are flying in your helicopter tonight.
Yeah, that's right. We threw out a gifted sub to our 200th follower, so thank you, Bean Boy, for supporting the DRL.
Yep, absolutely. So this is, oh, as we're going to see Professor Cardona slam into the wall there. Oof. Oh, man, you hate to see that. Absolutely devastating for Professor Cardona. That's going to open up for Kyle Hirsch. Let's hop on with Tarugo. We said there was a 2.5 second gap, and he has got that down to a 10th. Stone Wars, I'm sorry, you were one off. That's sometimes just how the cookie crumbles, right? It's like those videos, like the whatever social experiments where they ask someone to cut them in line, and they don't, and then they go to the person behind them, and it's like, you know, oh, you win the prize. But look at that.
Oh, there it is. Our commentator extraordinaire throws out a sub to follower number 199. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's for you, Stone Wars, because we got love for everyone here in the chat. So, this wonderful helicopter brought to you by Bean Boy and Stoned Wars. It's the Stone Bean Boy helicopter extraordinaire that we're on tonight. No hablo inglés, Bean Boy. That's okay. Porque Cooper está muy bueno, right? Ad-free viewing of Cooper. Let's go. That is absolutely right. And just for you guys, let's get Coop on the track. Get him on the screen a little bit. That's right. Blessed are the Cooper bots, and we thank you guys all for the support. As we got a hype train here, that's always an exciting thing. Love to get a little hype around here. And a love for Coop. Cooper Atherton has taken his pit, so he did do it earlier. He has come out in second place. He has Spencer Braun 2 seconds behind him, and Liam is right behind there, about to pass Spencer Braun. So Cooper has been able to hold that track position. He is going to now have to hold back Liam for 10 minutes. Neil is coming to the pit lanes now. Let's see where Cooper Atherton comes out relative to him. Neil should have plenty of time as he looks to be running up on the back of Will Sanchez here. Hopefully Will lets him through quickly and without incidents. He is going to just pull off to the side. I'm sure Coop would love for him to get over and block the other drivers for half a second, so he can continue to build up that gap. Neil is out of the pit lanes, and he has about a 10-second gap to Cooper Atherton. So I think that is going to be okay for Cooper Atherton as he looks to hold on to second place. All right, Spencer and Hermione has both pulled into the pits as well. They're going to have a little race in the pit lanes. See where they come out. That's going to open up Daniel Hirsch to get back into first place. Gav Cook is right behind. Gav Cook is only 2.5 seconds behind Daniel Hirsch, and he can absolutely come back. That is crazy to think about after that incident that we had, that he could be closing this gap back on Daniel Hirsch and looking to actually make an attack here for first place, huh?
Well, yes, but also no, Dan. Gav is yet to complete his pit stop, so...
You're right. He is the last one.
Fall a ways down that order. He'll be the last one to complete his mandatory stop with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to do that.
Yeah, good point, and I guess that makes a little more sense, huh? All right, let's hop over to Tarugo. Tarugo is still chasing down Alan Young. This is for first place after the stop-and-go penalty for Marion Satsara. Is this going to be his opportunity to make the move? Leung is defending on the inside. Great defensive move there. You could see Trugo was one to attack that inside. It kind of threw him off a little bit. The strong defensive move by Leung as he's going to hold that up. Cooper Bot Lover says, concentrated bots accelerate with grave grandiosity. Cooper reigns sublime. That he does. I probably messed up a few words in that, but hey, that's okay. We're all not Cooper Atherton, right? We got to set expectations for ourselves here. There can be only one Cooper Atherton, and he is out on track. And what we'll have to do, Morgan, is we'll have to get Cooper in here for an interview in the last race. We'll have to get him in here and do a little cheer with his Cooper bots.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? We don't even know if he's real.
That's right. He might sound a lot like me. Hey guys, it's me, Cooper Atherton. I swear I'm real. So Liam he moved up ahead, whether it was through passing on the track or it was just through Hermione's going into pit lanes, but he is 2.5 seconds, so we'll want to keep an eye on that. Right here is our closest battle. Tyler Morgan is starting to close the gap on Juan Lopez as well, so we'll keep an eye on that as Trugo is getting right behind Leung, trying to find any opportunity to force a mistake or force a gap. He's not going to have enough speed here to make any type of move either. As we see Cooper Atherton, he went into the pits and got a drive-through. What happened to Cooper Atherton?
I'm gonna guess track limits, Dan. He probably hit it. My guess is probably going to be through that chicane before that second last hairpin. That's where anyways, when I was on track, I was hitting most of my track limit violations is through that chicane. It's really hard to do fast and not exceed the track limits there.
Devastating for Cooper Atherton, but that's only one way to look at it. Right, Chef says, I'm a big fan of Cooper Atherton. There's just something so special about him, and what a humble guy. You know, I feel like Coop could have easily won this race by 20, 30 seconds and said, you know, that wouldn't be fun for anyone. I'm going to be a good guy, and Liam, go ahead. Neil, go ahead. I'm happy with the podium. You know, we're just out here for fun, to hang with our fans. What a guy Cooper Atherton is. You're right, Chef. There's something just so special about him. It's the giving season, right?
It looks like he even wanted to give Daniel Hirsch a little podium limelight as well tonight. So,
and we're going to see Tarugo
we
fly past. Sorry to cut you off there, Leung, as he looked to try to make that move. Again, great awareness by Leung to let him fly past. And that is going to be devastating for Tarugo's race. He'll still be able to hold second place here, but without Leung making a mistake, it looks like Alan Leung is going to be able to build up a nice little gap to Tarugo here. Right now, about 4 seconds. Sorry, Morgan, what were you saying?
The window is now closed.
Yeah, just that Cooper there. That just 5 minutes left in the race here, and he can still potentially get back on the podium. He's got to chase down and overtake Daniel Hirsch, who was the beneficiary of that place with Cooper's drive-through. So still potential for Cooper to get back on the podium.
Yeah, you're certainly right about that. There is opportunity for him to get back on the podium, but either way, he'll be in the podium for the Platinum class, assuming nothing else happens, because he has a fair gap to him until Kyle Hirsch. Let's see. Let's hop over here with Tyler Morgan. No, let's hop on with Cooper Atherton, because Cooper Atherton is closing the gap on Daniel Hirsch here. And let's see if he can give us the gift of an overtake on Daniel Hirsch. Says right now this battle will fall along with this one here. We're also going to keep an eye on Kyle Hirsch and Spencer Braun as well. As we work our way through the chicane, both drivers come through it well, but these next two turns are good overtaking opportunities. What will we see from these drivers here? It looks like Cooper Atherton is just going to line up for this final turn. Will he be able to throw the car on the inside like we've seen so many drivers do, or will he just play it safe? He is going to just play it safe, get right on the back of Daniel Hirsch. Maybe he'll look to make a move into turn one. Let's see as we ride down the main straight with Cooper Atherton. Cooper Atherton sitting behind Daniel Hirsch, and he's just going to file behind him for this part of the track and wait for his next opportunity to strike. Cool, calm, and calculated is Cooper Atherton.
Yeah, I mean, with the pace of both of these drivers, I'm going to be pretty hard pressed for Cooper to make a pass anywhere other than breaking into that hairpin. So that's where I'll be on the lookout for Cooper to potentially make a move on Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen coming up here through some of these turns, this driver's just running a little wide and making small mistakes. As we see a little twitch there from Daniel Hirsch. He's going to start to close the gap a little bit, feel the pressure, accelerate a little bit too much. That opens up a gap, especially as you start to fly down this main straight here into the chicane. If you can make a move, doesn't look like Coop's going to push too much for this chicane. He's just going to line up for these hairpins to see what kind of opportunity he can make there. Ooh, as the car comes unsettled, Coop's going to slide around. Oh, bam! And into the wall goes Cooper Atherton. So unfortunate. You hate to see it. We're going to pretend like we didn't see it, and we're going to hop on with Kyle Hirsch as he's chasing down Spencer Braun. We have 2 minutes left in the race here, and there's still so much that can happen. Let's take a quick moment to run down the leaderboard as we watch this. I will wait till they come through this final hairpin to see if Kyle looks to make any type of move. I don't think he has enough gap here to do anything, and he's not going to. So let's move up and down the grid and take a look at our standings here. Neil Kerbel is currently in first place. He has a almost 13-second lead over Liam Curran in second. Then is Daniel Hirsch, Cooper Atherton, Spencer Braun, Kyle Hirsch, Artur Romanis, who is leading the silver class, Gav Cook, Nicholas Maury, Juan Lopez, Tyler Morgan, Damian Zawatsky, Alan Leung, who's leading the bronze class, although 7/10 behind him is Tarugo. Tarugo's found a way to close a 4-second gap, so we'll want to keep an eye on that. Marion Satsar is also closing a gap on John Malott here, but not to get too ahead of ourselves, we have Alan Leung, who is leading the bronze class, Tarugo, Professor Kronotis, John Malott, Marion Satsara, Creamy Von Cream, and Will Sanchez. Marion Satsara looking to go side by side in a very untraditional part of this track and put so much pressure here on John Malott. He is almost going to make contact with him. He is so close. He can take a little bit too much curb there, and I think that's not going to work out great for him as he wants to try to get a good run down the main straight. But we have 3 battles that we're keeping an eye on. Kyle Hirsch, who's chasing down Spencer Braun, Tarugo, who's chasing down Alan Leung, and Sath Sara, who is chasing down John Malott. And Marion Satsara is going to lose it in the same spot as Cooper Atherton does. Chef said I just fell to my knees, which is crazy because I'm in Target right now and I just saw some guy fall down to their knees. All right, so we're going to hop on with Tarugo here and see what Tarugo can do. But yeah, you just accelerate a little bit too much and it gets you. And it gets you, and we've seen it get so many great drivers, and Tarugo's finding any opportunity. Time has just expired. This is probably going to be the last lap. Neil Kerbel's coming through the final turns of the track here. So we will see if he pulls the checkered flag or if they send him for one more. But I would expect him to get the checkered flag here given to where he was when time expired. So we'll watch that because this is going to mean there's only a few turns left for Tarugo to attack. This is going to be his opportunity. Will he make anything happen with it? He's going to try to line up a switchback here. It is not going to work. He's still right behind. Alan Leung better get defensive here because Tarugo is going to throw it. Neil Kerbel did get the flag. Will he throw it down on the inside? He's not because Alan Leung does a great job of positioning car in the middle of the track. Great exit speed for Tarugo, but it's not going to be enough. Alan Leung is going to win first place in the bronze class, followed by Tarugo. What a race for these guys. Congratulations to Alan Leung. What a race by Tarugo. What a recovery drive up and down the grid. Incredible race here. Let's follow along with some of these other drivers. Cooper Atherton is going to be the next to cross the line. Neil Kerbel took first place. Liam Curran took second. And Daniel Hirsch took third place overall. And he took first place for the gold class. Cooper Atherton's going to be in fourth, followed by Kyle Hirsch, Spencer Braun. Artur Shermanis is going to get first place overall, assuming nothing happens to him around this turn here. First place in silver for Artur Shermanis. Behind him is Gavin Cook, who's going to finish 8th place overall, which isn't terrible considering the tragedies he had on his race. We're going to have Nicholas Maury, and we had Tyler Morgan, who somehow got ahead of Juan Lopez here. I'm not sure what exactly happened. No, Tyler Morgan teleported to the pits. That's what it was. So my timing block was off. Whew, I was quite confused there. What a race tonight, Morgan, huh? How about that?
Yeah, that was a thrilling end, especially in that AM class there. But yeah, it was really interesting. Like probably one of the cleanest first laps we've seen in a long time on a very difficult track. And then it wasn't until a little bit later in the race when maybe drivers getting a little bit tired, started making mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good driving up and down the grid on what's a very difficult track to drive. We're going to go to a quick intermission here to get our stuff set up, see who is available for replays. But before we do that, I do want to just take a second while everyone is in here to thank you all so much. I know for us here in the old US of A, we have Thanksgiving come up this week, a time to be thankful and reflect on all the things you're grateful for. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who hangs out with us at DRL, for this wonderful community that I've been able to be a part of and feel like I have this great support system in my life, not only in racing, but with friends all across the world that I've been able to make, cultures that I've been exposed to, and what I view as great friends. So I'm so thankful for each and every one of you, for Morgan, everything that you and this league has done. It really is such a great place to be. So give us a second. We're going to go over and get our replays set up, and we are going to see who wants to come in for an interview as we wrap up what is another incredible race here at DRL.
Kicking into high gear, the race is on. Wheels burning rubber, we're never wrong. Power in the engines, fire in our veins. In the DRL, we break the chains. No brakes, no fear, no slowing down. The checkered flag is calling, we're the crown. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back.
All right, we are back. I'm going to turn this game volume off as we look to do our interviews. We have a few drivers sitting in the green room. We are going to start first with the one, the only Tarugo. Tarugo, welcome to the chat. What a race tonight. How are you feeling?
I guess he got taken.
What's that?
Oh, I didn't hear you. I thought I was still with the other guys.
Surprise!
Hi.
Hello and welcome to the stream. How you feeling after this race?
That was a tough one, not gonna lie. I got tapped twice from behind into the chicane, and it really started to play a toll on my mental state, trying to get it to come back together, and I just had to basically put my head down. And towards the end, it was just chasing Leong. He put up great defense. It's very hard to pass him. And yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. This is not one of my strongest tracks for sure, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, we were watching along and we saw kind of going into those final couple hairpins. There was one point towards the end where you just kind of flew through, took too much speed, went off into the dirt, kind of opened it up for Leong. He was up by about 4.5 seconds, and it felt like we looked 4.5 seconds later, you were back on the rear of him. Just incredible driving through all the incidents. You know, we'd look and you'd be down the grid. All of a sudden, we'd turn around and look again, and you're back up again. Unfortunate you couldn't pass him. It was such an exciting finish that we followed along with. But yeah, it's just incredible. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you were on a 4-race win streak, back in second. But it's been an incredible season. If memory serves me correctly, you've either been in first or second place every race this season, which I think is just such a testament to the consistency that you've drove with this season.
Thanks. Yeah, it was. Man, I really wanted this win. I really was chasing it. I put a lot of laps in, and all the reviews that I've seen of it, how the track guides say it's very difficult to pass on here unless you force an error. It's very difficult. That last hairpin that you were talking about, I sent it. I was like, maybe he will open it up, and I carried too much speed into it, and I was trying everything I could. I was really trying.
Yeah, those hairpins are really the only opportunity you have to get past somebody unless you force a mistake. It is very difficult on track to make those moves. But it was a great race for you, and it's been a great race all season. I gotta think, I haven't done the math on it, but I gotta think that as long as you show up and finish, you're probably gonna close off a victory in the bronze class. So hopefully you'll come in after the race next week and we can kind of talk to you about the season as a whole and reflect back on the highs and the lows and how exciting it's been watching you this season, because it's just been an incredible season watching you race.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to next week and the season that comes after.
Awesome. All right, Trigo, have a great night. Thank you so much.
You too. Take care, guys.
All right, as we slowly work up the classes, let's go to our silver class champion, Arturs Hermanis. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
How are you doing after a big win tonight?
I am feeling very happy about the win. I I'm glad I managed to get a relatively clean race. A couple of little, like tank slappers maybe, but overall a clean race.
Yeah, it is. It was incredible watching you race tonight. A lot of fast drivers that you were able to hold up. Great defensive driving. It felt like you had great pace up and down the race. Do you feel like this was one of the best races that you've drove so far this season?
Yeah, honestly, I would even put it a bit further than just this season. I think it's one of the most consistent and clean races I've had. Period.
Yeah,
It was a
and
very
it's
good one.
and it's so funny too because one of these two commentators tonight was just like, God, Hermanis is such a trash driver. Like, I don't even know why he's in here. He like would crash cars all the time, and then here you are. No, I'm just kidding. But I did reflect on one of the first times that we ever raced together, and it was on this track in our very first ACC season. I always laugh at Donington Park
Killed
because
you a few times, yeah.
you just kept crashing me, and then I end up finding out it's like you got 600 ping, and you had no idea what the hell was going on the track. But yeah, I don't know. It's a silly thing, and I was so annoying at the time, but now it's like it's such a fond memory that I have. And it was great
absolutely.
seeing you tonight. It was just such a dominating race. I think math-wise, and I'm sure you know this, with that win tonight, you have probably sealed the victory here in silver.
Yes, yeah. That, by my math as well, that I did pre-race, it does seem like I could as well not attend the last race, and I still should have it in the bag. Very
Yeah.
happy.
So, well, hopefully we will see you in Suzuka, but congratulations.
We
It's
will.
exciting for a big class win. How are you feeling about winning in this silver class?
It is a joy. It's funny that I thought I might never win it, and now I've gotten 2 seasons in a row, essentially, and it's a very warm feeling. I feel like I've succeeded in my goals, and now I guess let's raise the bar and try to fight with gold drivers potentially.
All right, easy there, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But no, yeah,
Well,
no, I definitely think you'll find yourself getting promoted up, whether we continue forward with the 4-class system or we go to the 3-class system. I think you'll find yourself battling it out in a great division. But it's been just progress season over season for you from where you came from, like you said, never expecting to win to back-to-back titles now. Huge victories. Our first ever silver class champion. So, breaking in the old history books here at DRL. But yeah, congratulations. It's been such an exciting season. It's been a battle up and down. For as disappointing as it's been in the silver class from the lack of attendance, it's been so exciting every week watching guys battle it out, whether it was the lap after lap battles in Laguna Seca, to the qualifying battles that we saw of just one after the other putting up better times. And it's been such a tight battle between you, Morgan, and Lopez. And congratulations on coming on top of it, because it did take a lot of hard work and a lot of consistency out on the track to be able to hold that win, because there were 2 other great drivers that you battled with week after week. So congratulations on another championship here at DRL.
Thank you. And absolutely, that consistency was the main thing that drove this championship to be able to win, be able to be won. Because other drivers, I make one mistake and they're right on top of me, or if not ahead of me already. I can't afford mistakes. Nobody could. So it was a very consistency championship here.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Hermanis, you have a great, I guess it's going to be a good day for you. So have a great day.
Thank you.
And we will hopefully see you next week at Suzuka.
I will be there.
All right, have a great night. All right, and with that, we have one last driver to bring into the broadcast channel here, and that is my favorite of the Hirsch brothers, Daniel Hirsch. Welcome to the stream. How you feeling after this race?
Hey, dude, feeling pretty darn good. I needed that one.
Yeah, that was big in such a tight opportunity in the standings. A little bit of breathing room with Gav. Were you aware of how close you guys were in the standings coming into this race, or have you just been putting up your best times and not worrying about it?
I actually was aware. I saw it and I was like, I need to practice a little bit. So I've been practicing quite a bit this week. Normally, I don't practice as much than I did this week. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you could certainly tell. Third place overall, great pace, first place in class. It was just an incredible race. But still, the pressure was on you all race. It seemed like every time we were there was, pressure being put on. Unfortunately, Gav ended up having some contact that happened and finally gave you a little breathing room. But yeah, it was tough battling out there. What stood out to you this race?
I definitely appreciated my brother being qualifying right in between us two.
Yeah.
Me and Gab. That definitely helped. I'm not sure if it was mentally in his head, but he definitely wanted to win with the constructors on the line too.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, this is the time of the season when the pressure can really get to you, and you start to try to do too much. I don't think Gav was really overdriving as much as it was just silly contact that happens, as you're driving. And well, you've spent the last 45 minutes plus on this track. You know how difficult it is to overtake, and you have one opportunity on the track. And I think sometimes the drivers start to force it a little bit too much rather than letting it flow naturally. So, you spent a lot of the race defending. How concerned were you with someone just sending it into you?
Oh, it is pretty scary. Cooper Atherton was right behind me, and I didn't realize he had a drive-through, and I saw that I was P3. I was like, I'm going to defend this as hard as I can, and he definitely had way more pace than I did.
Yeah, it was such unfortunate for Cooper Atherton and all our Cooper bots in chat. I've just been absolutely devastated. It's been quite an emotional roller coaster for us tonight. So thanks for rehashing all those wounds. It's great to have you on stream. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course.
It was exciting. And yeah, it was a great race for you. And we have one more race in Suzuka. I got to think as long as you put up a good place, you're probably going to be able to hold that victory. What's your mindset going into Suzuka? What is your thoughts on the track as a whole?
I think it's not getting into trouble. I know the Beamer isn't really good through the S's, so it's gonna require a little bit more practice too, for sure.
Yeah, well, one more week to glory. That's what you got to do. It's a tricky week for us in the USA because it is Thanksgiving week, so that might be a good thing for some people, might be a bad thing for others, but we will see how it plays out in our season finale. We cannot wait to watch what you guys will do out there, and Suzuka is such an exciting track for battles, so we're really hoping it is a good race. But Daniel, thank you so much for taking some time to hang out with us. It's been such an exciting season, and we're so excited to see the finish next week in Suzuka.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, guys, and I'm thankful for DRL.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Daniel, have a good
Thanks,
night.
brother.
All right. Well, with that, we are starting to wind down towards the end of our stream here. We are going to do something a little different tonight. We've done it before, but we want to go ahead and we're going to raid another streamer here. We love to show love to other people within Twitch and all these other streamers that are trying to grow their channels. So if you're here hanging out with us, we would love for you to hang out with us for a few more minutes. Go say hi, introduce yourself to a new streamer. Maybe you make a new friend or two. It's always an exciting thing. I'm going to send some messages in our Discord right now to see anyone else who wants to hang out. Actually, Morgan, do you mind popping into the ACC chat and just letting them know?
Yeah. I think we do have a good number of people on the stream, but I will let them know.
Yeah, and we're going to hop over in just 1 minute here, and while he does that, we're just going to wrap this up. We're going to kind of go through the things that we always go through here at the end, which is our schedule. We went to Zandvoort, then we went to Laguna Seca. We had our mystery track at Silverstone, then we had a rainy race at Red Bull Ring. We raced in the night at Donington Park, then we had our second mystery track was at Indianapolis, and we just finished up such an exciting race at Donington Park, a technical track that had thrills up and down, and we have one more race next season for this season, which will be next week at Suzuka, a very exciting track as we round out Season 8. I cannot believe we're already here at the end of another exciting season. I have had so much fun hanging out with every single person here who's decided to take some time and join us. We look forward to what's an exciting finish. We know Neil Kerbel's pretty much closed off in the platinum class. Gold class is still up for grabs. Silver's most likely done, and bronze is most likely done. But that doesn't mean we won't have a fun night of racing. I hope it'll be an exciting race. It'll be a night full of fun. Hopefully we'll get a lot of drivers to come in here and talk about their season. And we'll kind of close this season and this year up on a high note, because it has been such a fun year. As always, we want to take a minute to thank our Patreon subscribers for all their support, and all our Twitch subscribers as well. You may not be on the list, but that does not mean that we don't have a ton of love for you as well. For everyone who's joined us in chat tonight, I'm so thankful for you guys all. Bert, Mojo Jojo, Chef, Neil, Sam, Keffer, I saw you pop in for a minute. Stone Wars, it was your first time here. Bean Boy, it was your first time here. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed those subs that were gifted to you. Cooperbot Lover joined us as well. I saw Spencer pop in here. Silas popped in here. Thank you to each and every one of you who took some time tonight. We got up to 201 followers. It's a huge milestone for here, and we're so grateful for all of you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're celebrating it this week, and I cannot wait to close the season out next week. Without further ado, Morgan, why don't you take us off to stream or to raid a wonderful streamer here on Twitch?